Doodler is the sixth episode of Kelly Kelly. This is directed by John Tracy, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I really enjoyed this episode. I think there are some really strong moments in it, and we have two parts to the narrative. One subplot that seemed quite boring, but I loved how it concluded, and then the main part of the narrative. So I'll deal with the subplot first of all, and this involves the fact that Brian is basically doing everything that Maureen wants, including things like wearing frozen underwear and being her footstool. And it wasn't that interesting, but the ending was fantastic. And as I said, there are spoilers as I explain what happens. And at the end, Brian realizes he doesn't want to be Maureen's friend, so he shouldn't have to suffer any more punishments. But he realized he was going to do it to see how far he could take it, to see how many punishments he could put up with. And he realized actually he's quite capable of dealing with anything she throws at him. So he decided he's going to post her diary on the internet. And whatever punishment she gives him, he'll probably be able to take it. So I didn't see that coming. I rather liked that quite a lot. The main narrative, though, focuses on Sean. And Sean's grades are not brilliant. And Kelly realizes that he's doing a lot of doodling in his tests in the spaces he's supposed to be giving the answers. So she encourages him to take an art class. And I won't go into everything that happens, but it's not plain sailing. Sean doesn't like the feedback he gets. He's struggling with it. And Kelly tells him about how she wrote a novel and got a lot of rejection for it. And there was one point that I really loved. I didn't write it down, so forgive me if I get the numbers incorrect. But Kelly pointed out she'd submitted her novel to, I think, 53 people. And Sean was getting a little bit irritated by Kelly's interference. So he decided to kind of turn things around, and he told her, can you imagine if you had just submitted it to one more person and that 54th person was going to say yes? Basically pointing out that, well, Kelly gave up, so why shouldn't he? But I think that that's a really brilliant thought to have. Even if you face rejection, I've had rejection emails from publishers for my novel, of course I have, from agencies, and I never gave up until I reached the point where I wanted to be. And it is a really great thought that if you stop now, how do you know the next person you contact or the next thing you try isn't going to be your golden ticket? Don't give up, because you never know what might be just around the corner, which I think is a brilliant message. Also getting a little bit of Diane Chambers in here with the whole failed novelist thing with Kelly Kelly. There's not a tremendous amount of Kelly that reminds me of Diane, but every now and then there'll just be a little something which makes me smile. And then ultimately Sean decides to go back to the art class, and instead of getting annoyed when his art teacher said she didn't like it, he was able to think more critically about his work and realize, actually, there is room for improvement, and I could improve this and that. And I think it was a really nice message about just never giving up. Don't let go of your dreams. Just try and try again, because you never know when something might click. And I thought it was great. I loved the fact that Kelly was encouraging Sean with this and helping him to find something he was passionate about. And I thought it was great. Great messages, great execution. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. Kelly was fantastic. Sean was great. No complaints from me at all. In fact, it might be one of my favourite episodes. And we only have one left. There is one more episode left. So we'll see how that goes in 2 weeks' time. Next week, I will be watching Good Advice, which I love. I do prefer Good Advice to Kelly Kelly, but Kelly Kelly is still great. And Doodler is definitely a pretty decent episode.